Uh, a very good morning to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Respected Director NIPID, Director CRC, Dr. Shilpa, Dr. Hemant, Rajendra, and dear participants. Today we have got the privilege to do a webinar with our parent organization NIPID. We are thankful for the opportunity. My sincere regards and gratitude to all my teachers of NIPID. Today we are because of our dear teachers. We feel blessed. So the topic of the seminar today is e-learning and special children. Before I proceed to my talk on e-learning, I would just like to give a brief introduction to Akanksha. Akanksha is a institute. 1994 में आकांक्षा इंस्टीट्यूट बनाया गया था, जिसमें 14 बच्चे बस थे उस टाइम पे रायपुर में, पहली संस्था थी और 25 सालों से लगातार ये अपनी सेवाएं दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित बच्चों को दे रही है। और इसके अभी हाल ही में हम लोगों ने अपने 25 साल की सिल्वर जुबली को मनाने के लिए इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस किया था दिसंबर 2019 में, जिसमें बहुत अच्छा योगदान मिला था हमें। आकांक्षा के मेजर एक्टिविटीज स्पेशल स्कूल है इंटेलेक्चुअल डिसेबिलिटी के लिए, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट जहाँ पे टीचर ट्रेनिंग कोर्सेज होते हैं, डीएड स्पेशल एजुकेशन, इंटेलेक्चुअल डिसेबिलिटी, ऑटिज्म, सीपी और वीआई पे, बीएड स्पेशल एजुकेशन होता है आईडी के लिए, रूरल बेस्ड स्कूल्स भी खुले हुए हैं, थेरेप्यूटिक सेंटर है हमारे पास में, फिजियोथेरेपी, स्पीच थेरेपी, ओटी, रेबियर ट्रेनिंग एंड साइकोलॉजिकल सर्विसेज, वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग सेंटर भी है और रीजनल लर्निंग सेंटर डेफ ब्लाइंडनेस का ईस्ट है, जो कि 5 राज्यों को कवर करता है, छत्तीसगढ़, वेस्ट बंगाल, झारखंड, उड़ीसा, उत्तर प्रदेश, एंड नयन स्पेशल स्कूल को विजुअली चैलेंज भी। मैं इसको इसीलिए भी बताना चाह रही हूँ क्योंकि कोविड-19 और लॉकडाउन के वजह से हमारे दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित बच्चों के लिए भी बहुत ज्यादा परेशानियों का सामना करना पड़ा। सडन लॉकडाउन होने के बावजूद भी लर्निंग नोज नो बाउंड, लर्निंग चैलेंजेस हैं और पॉसिबल अचीवमेंट्स भी दिखे। इस लर्निंग चैलेंजेस और पॉसिबल अचीवमेंट्स को बरकरार रखने के लिए ई लर्निंग की सहायता से हमारे शिक्षक जो स्पेशल टीचर्स हैं और अपने थेरेपिस्ट, उन लोगों ने जी जान लगाकर बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से विद डेडिकेशन एंड डिवोशन दे हैव रेंडर्ड देयर सर्विसेज टू द पेरेंट्स। उनको सिखाया और उनको बहुत अच्छे से समझाकर अपने दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित बच्चों के लिए भी काम करने के लिए उन्हें सहायता प्रदान की। लॉकडाउन एकदम सडन होने के वजह से स्कूल का रूटीन पूरा डिस्टर्ब हो गया, थेरेपेटिक सेशंस बंद हो गए, एजुकेशनल इंटरवेंशंस बंद हो गए। इसीलिए संस्थाओं को बहुत ज्यादा रोल प्ले करना पड़ रहा है ताकि बच्चों में जो फिजिकल, इमोशनल, बिहेवियरल प्रॉब्लम्स जो बढ़ गई थी, जो घर में रहते हुए, उन लोगों को प्रशिक्षण ई लर्निंग के द्वारा करवाकर बहुत बड़ा योगदान हमारे सभी जगह सभी संस्थाओं में ये योगदान अपने दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित बच्चों के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण तरीके से दिया जा रहा है। कुछ ये ऐसे वर्कशीट्स बनाए गए थे टीचर्स के द्वारा, जो एक्टिविटी वर्कशीट्स के द्वारा उनको दिया गया और वो कंप्लीट करके पेरेंट्स भी उसका फोटो खींच के व्हाट्सएप में भेजा करते थे। तो इसका मतलब है कि पेरेंट्स भी बहुत ज्यादा रुचि लेकर अपने बच्चों के साथ में काम कर रहे थे। मतलब द होम ऑफ अ स्पेशल चाइल्ड हैज बिकम अ स्पेशल स्कूल and parents, siblings and other family members have become special teachers to carry out their duties judiciously. तो इसका महत्व हमने एक ऐसी गतिविधि भी बनाई थी, सांप सीढ़ी के जैसा। हर खंड में लगभग एक डब्बे में कुछ ना कुछ गतिविधियां हैं। बच्चा इसके साथ बहुत रिक्रिएशन, लीजर केयर एक्टिविटीज के द्वारा इसको खेल खेल में बहुत सारी चीजों को सीखने लग गया। सभी एक्टिविटीज हमने कराए थे, फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज, योगा, डांस, कॉन्सेप्ट फॉर्मेशन, एवरीथिंग वाज गिवन। ये भी एक वोकेशनल का, प्री वोकेशनल स्किल का डेवलपमेंट था। हमने कुछ पॉजिटिव पॉइंट्स देखे लॉकडाउन के दौरान। पेरेंट्स और फैमिली में यूनिटी दिखी, पेरेंट्स को टीचर्स के रूप में बच्चों ने स्वीकारा, क्वालिटी क्वांटिटी टाइम दिया गया, सिब्लिंग बॉन्डेज दिखी, एक दूसरे के प्रति रेस्पेक्ट, सम्मान दिया गया, नए नए कौशलों को सीखा, पेरेंट्स ने भी सीखा और बच्चों ने भी सीखा। म्यूचुअल सपोर्ट था, एप्रिसिएशन थे, टीम वर्क था, जिम्मेदारियों को एक दूसरे के समझ के उन लोग करने लगे। भाई बहन भी अपने बच्चों के साथ जुड़ गए। हमारे दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित बच्चों को एक बहुत अच्छा माहौल घर पे मिलने लगा, ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ ई लर्निंग। वहां पर बच्चों को सेफली रहने, हाइजीनिकली रहने और सिक्योर रहने के लिए भी उनको सिखाया जाता था। और ये सब संस्था में रहकर टीचर्स और स्पेशल टीचर्स और थेरेपिस्ट ने पेरेंट्स को ट्रेन किया और पेरेंट्स इंटर्न अपने बच्चों को घर पर दिया। अब ये सब हम बात कर रहे हैं ई लर्निंग। आज हम जानेंगे कि ई लर्निंग क्या है और उसके क्या महत्व है और उसको हम किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ाना है, क्योंकि वी डोंट नो कोविड का लॉकडाउन कब तक चलेगा और हमारे बच्चे वापस अपनी संस्थाओं में कब वापस आएंगे, वी आर नॉट श्योर। लेकिन हमारा ये सिलसिला जारी रहेगा ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से। तो ई लर्निंग इज द यूज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन एंड कंप्यूटर टेक्नोलॉजी टू क्रिएट लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंसेस। ई लर्निंग एंड स्पेशल एजुकेशन में यूज ऑफ इंटरनेट हो रहा है, वो टेक्नोलॉजिकल टूल है हमारे बच्चों के लिए, वो एजुकेशन को प्रमोट कर रहा है, वो हमारे बच्चों के लिए एक स्ट्रैटेजिक टूल डेवलप करके हमको बच्चों को उस कार्य को सरलता से करने में मदद कर रहा है। तो ई लर्निंग हमारे स्पेशल एजुकेशन बच्चों से भी ज्यादा दूर नहीं है, बच्चे बहुत अच्छे से सीख रहे हैं। लेकिन कुछ ना कुछ इसके साथ में प्रॉज एंड कॉन्स भी हैं, उसको भी हम देखते हैं। नीड, आवश्यकता क्यों पड़ गई है ई लर्निंग की? क्योंकि देखिए अभी शिक्षा का द एजुकेशन पैटर्न्स आर चेंजिंग। इंटरनेट इज नाउ चेंजिंग द एजुकेशनल मोडालिटीज। ट्रेडिशनल क्लासरूम्स बदल रहे हैं और हमारे बच्चों को ई लर्निंग को अगर ध्यान देना है तो उनकी उम्र, उनका टाइप, उनका लेवल ऑफ इम्पेयरमेंट को ध्यान देते हुए ई लर्निंग को प्रमोट करना है। प्रिपेयर अवर स्पेशल चिल्ड्रन यूज ई लर्निंग। कोर्सेस जो भी होगा वो वोकेशनल स्किल बेस्ड हो और जॉब ओरिएंटेड हो। कंसिडरेशंस, हम जब लर्निंग करते हैं तो उसमें कुछ ना कुछ कंसिडरेशंस रखना जरूरी है। सबसे पहले हमारा लर्नर चाहे किसी भी दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित हो, उसको प्राथमिकता देते हुए उसके लिए लर्निंग मटेरियल तैयार करें, उसके लिए सुदृढ़ लर्निंग वातावरण तैयार करें ताकि बच्चा उस माहौल में अच्छे तरीके से सीख सके। रहा सवाल टेक्नोलॉजी का, असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी भी है बच्चों के लिए यूज करने लायक, और साथ में अपना ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से भी कई प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं जिसकी सहायता से हमारे बच्चों को हम सिखा सकेंगे। बच्चों के लिए ई लर्निंग कन्वीनियंट रहेगा, फ्लेक्सिबल रहेगा, वो कभी भी घर में रह के कोई भी समय पर वो हम बच्चों को सिखा सकते हैं। हम ज्यादा ध्यान देंगे उनके लर्निंग पैटर्न्स पे। उनको टीचर्स को भी हमको टेक्नो फ्रेंडली बनाना आवश्यकता हो गई है, क्योंकि जब तक टीचर्स टेक्नो फ्रेंडली नहीं है तो वो अपने बच्चों को कैसे सिखा सकें। तो टीचर्स आर आल्सो लर्निंग टू बिकम टेक्नो फ्रेंडली एंड क्लासरूम का सदुपयोग करना बहुत जरूरी हो गया। जब एक स्क्रीन पे अगर हम व्हाट्सएप की वीडियो स्क्रीन पे अगर डांस टीचर आ रहा है और डांस सिखा रहा है बच्चों को, बच्चे उस समय पर देखकर उससे एकदम क्लोजनेस होगी और वो अपना बच्चे टीचर्स को देखकर वो भी काम को करने लग जाएंगे। इससे हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग भी मेंटेन कर रहे हैं जो कोविड की आवश्यकता है, और हम सोशलाइजेशन को भी बरकरार रख रहे हैं कि बच्चों को परिचित चेहरे दिखाते हुए उनको सिखाने का एक माहौल प्रदान कर रहे हैं। करिकुलम इवैल्यूएशन पैटर्न्स को चेंज करना पड़ेगा ई लर्निंग में, और पेरेंट्स का इन्वॉल्वमेंट और ट्रेनिंग और घर का वातावरण ये बहुत ज्यादा मुख्य हो गया है, क्योंकि पेरेंट्स हमारे अभी टीचर्स बन गए हैं घर पर। तो पेरेंट्स को सिखा रहे हैं हमारे स्पेशल टीचर्स, और बच्चों को घर पे सिखा रहे हैं उनके खुद के माँ बाप, उनके भाई बहन, दादा दादी, नाना नानी, बुआ चाचा, ये सब लोग मिलके हमारे बच्चों को बहुत अच्छा एक माहौल दे रहे हैं। रहा सवाल होम एनवायरनमेंट का, पूरे घर को हम स्पेशल स्कूल तो नहीं बना सकते, तो एक कॉर्नर को निर्धारित करें, एक जगह को निर्धारित करें जहाँ बच्चे को लगना चाहिए कि अब मैं स्कूल जा रहा हूँ तो मेरे घर का ये कोना मुझे पढ़ाई लिखाई के लिए है और ये कोना मेरे खेत के लिए है। तो इस तरीके से हम एक डिसिप्लिन डेवलप करेंगे अपने बच्चों के लिए। ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस में कैसा प्रभाव पड़ रहा है? इट इज इम्प्रूविंग द एफिशिएंसी ऑफ लर्निंग, it is increasing the motivational level of the learners, it is making the child understand the concepts to the deeper meaning, new approaches of learning हो रहा है, new ways of interaction हो रहा है, interest in learning, विभिन्न प्रकार की गतिविधियों से बच्चा खुश होता है सीखने के लिए। It is improving self-evaluation, wider reach and consistency. फ्लेक्सिबल तरीका हो रहा है, डिफरेंट लर्निंग मोड्स हैं, डिफरेंट लर्निंग स्टाइल्स हैं, सेल्फ पेसिंग, अपने ही समय पर बच्चा, जब भी बच्चा तैयार है सीखने के लिए तब दिया जा रहा है, उसमें कोई पाबंदी नहीं लगाई जा रही है, कोई उसको प्रेशर नहीं दे रहा है, कोई फोर्स नहीं कर रहा है, उसका सेटिस्फैक्शन लेवल इंक्रीज हो रहा है और पूरा ओवरऑल पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट में भी चेंजेस दिखाई दे रहे हैं इस ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से। ई लर्निंग को अगर हमको एक कल्चर डेवलप करना है तो ये 3 बिंदुओं को बहुत ध्यान से देखना है और समझना है। लर्नर है, टीचर्स हैं और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। खास तौर पे हम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पे चलते हैं, क्योंकि अगर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में हमारा अगर इंस्टीट्यूट ही ई लर्निंग के एनवायरनमेंट कल्चर को अगर डेवलप नहीं करता, रिसोर्सेज को डेवलप नहीं करता, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को प्रोवाइड नहीं करता आईसीटी को, तब हम अपने ना तो टीचर्स को ट्रेन कर पाएंगे, ना तो हम बच्चों तक के पहुंच पाएंगे। तो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, चाहे वो इंस्टीट्यूट हो, स्कूल हो या कोई भी संस्था हो, उसको इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर आईसीटी के लिए और ई लर्निंग के लिए स्थापित करना होगा। दूसरा होता है हमारे टीचर्स डेवलप करेंगे स्किल को, और लर्निंग स्किल्स को डेवलप करने से बच्चों तक के पहुंचते हैं जहां बच्चे अपने सेल्फ डायरेक्टेड, सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड और सेल्फ रेगुलेटेड रहते हैं, और बच्चों को भी सिखाना होगा कि ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से किस तरीके से वो नया नया सीख सकेंगे। देन ई लर्निंग के कुछ टूल्स हैं जिसके माध्यम से हम उन लोगों को सिखा सकते हैं, जैसे ईमेल्स है, वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग है, टेली कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग है, लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, पॉडकास्ट है, चैट्स हैं, वो फोरम है, विकिपीडिया है, वेब पेजेस है, और टॉप ई लर्निंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स भी कुछ हैं जो कि शायद राजेंद्र आपको और डिटेल में बताएंगे। पाठशाला है, नेशनल डिजिटल लाइब्रेरी है, स्वयं प्रभा है। इस तरीके के जो ई लर्निंग टूल्स के माध्यम से हमारे दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित बच्चों को हम घर पहुंच शिक्षा प्रदान कर सक रहे हैं। बेनिफिट्स क्या है इसके? फोकसेस ऑन नीड्स ऑफ लर्नर्स, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है, इफेक्टिव यूज ऑफ टाइम हो रहा है, ट्रैवल एक्सपेंसेस को हम कट डाउन कर रहे हैं, होम बेस्ड ट्रेनिंग हो रही है, इंडिविजुअलाइज्ड लर्निंग हो रही है, लर्निंग कंटेंट स्मॉलर यूनिट्स में दिया जा रहा है, लेस इंटिमिडेटिंग, ज्यादा प्रभाव और ज्यादा प्रेशर नहीं दिया जा रहा है, क्विक लर्निंग सेशंस हो रहे हैं, वर्ल्ड वाइड लर्निंग सोसाइटी, नो रेस्ट्रिक्शंस, एंड देन कन्वीनियंट है, सेल्फ लर्निंग है, मिक्स एंड मैच है, कभी ऑडियो के साथ में दे रहे हैं तो कभी वीडियो के साथ दे रहे हैं, या दोनों को साथ में देकर बच्चों को सिखाया जा रहा है, सेल्फ पेस्ड है, रिपीटेबल है, एंड बहुत सारे एडवांटेजेस हमारे ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से बच्चों को सिखा सकेंगे। लेकिन कुछ बाधाएं भी हैं। ये बाधाएं हैं, ई कंटेंट, ई मटेरियल और ई प्लेटफॉर्म अभी उतना ज्यादा डेवलप नहीं है, क्योंकि ये एक अचानक आ गया कोविड के वजह से। अब हमको ई लर्निंग, ई कंटेंट, ई प्लेटफॉर्म पर ज्यादा ध्यान देना होगा। ऑनलाइन टीचिंग के लिए ऑनलाइन क्लासेस और सोशल इमोशनल बॉन्डिंग जो डेवलप होता है टीचर्स और बच्चों के बीच में, वो जरूर नहीं दिखेगा, लेकिन हम कोशिश करेंगे कि बच्चों के साथ में जुड़े रहें। फेस टू फेस लर्निंग भी बहुत ज्यादा, लर्नर्स, टीचर्स और फुली एक्विप्ड ई लर्निंग के हमारे पास में साधन नहीं है, लेकिन उसको डेवलप करना है। रूरल और रिमोट एरियाज में तो बहुत ज्यादा अवेयरनेस की कमी है, उस अवेयरनेस को हमको डेवलप करना है रूरल और रिमोट एरियाज में। कई बार कनेक्टिविटी का प्रॉब्लम आता है, पुअर या नो कनेक्टिविटी रहती है रूरल एरियाज में, अर्बन एरियाज में भी रहती है, और कई बार एक्सेसिबिलिटी नहीं रहती है, हम रिसोर्स मटेरियल को लेना, डाउनलोड करना चाहते हैं, वो नहीं हो पाता है। कई बार हम बहुत डिपेंडेंट हो जाते हैं ओवरसीज, जैसे वेस्टर्न में जितने लिटरेचर या रिसोर्सेज डेवलप हैं, हम उसी के ऊपर में डिपेंड रहते हैं, जो कि हिंदी लैंग्वेज में या हमारे इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस में अवेलेबल नहीं है। तो इसके लिए भी सोच करके हमको इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस में ऐसे रिसोर्सेज डेवलप करना है, ताकि हमारे बच्चे उसका लाभ उठा सकें। कई बार आईसीटी बहुत अनएफोर्डेबल प्राइसेस पे रहता है, बहुत कम लोग उसको खरीद सकते हैं और बहुत कम लोग उसका फायदा ले रहे हैं। तो मूलतः हम अगर देखें तो ई लर्निंग कैन बी यूज्ड एज अ कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री बट नॉट एज सप्लीमेंट्री, लेकिन बहुत कुछ हम ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से हम अपने बच्चों को मदद पहुंचा सकेंगे। हमारे हाथ में या तो कंप्यूटर्स के माध्यम में, या लैपटॉप या फोन या टैबलेट्स में हम लगातार इसका उपयोग कर रहे हैं, और ई लर्निंग और टेक्नोलॉजी वाइडर अवेलेबल है, प्रेफर्ड वे ऑफ लर्निंग है, और वो हमको पूरा उस कार्य को करने के लिए एकदम ध्यान पैदा करता है। असिस्टिव डिवाइसेस हमारे WHO के CBR के गाइडलाइंस में भी बहुत महत्व दिया गया है कि वो इस तरीके से बने ताकि हमारे अडेप्ट किए जाएं, ताकि हमारे बच्चे जो दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित हैं आसानी से उसका लाभ उठा सकें। Areas in which assistive technology can help is education, mobility, employment, leisure and recreation, communication and socialization. कुछ ई लर्निंग और ई टेक्नोलॉजी के वजह से, जैसे आपको एग्जांपल के तौर पे ड्रैगन डिक्टेशन है, यहाँ पे एक सीपी से ग्रसित बच्ची है सेरेब्रल पाल्सी से, और ये अपना टाइप नहीं कर पा रही है, तो वो मुंह से बोलेगी तो वो खुद अपने आप टाइप होगा, तो वो आत्मनिर्भर हो जाएगी ड्रैगन डिक्टेशन का उपयोग करके। तो ये एक असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी है। इसी तरीके से असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड के लिए भी है। बुक्स ऑन टेप, आई ग्लासेस हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैग्नीफायर्स हैं, ब्रेल मटेरियल्स हैं। ब्रेल एंड स्पीक, जब वो विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड पर्सन जब वो बोलता है तो वो ब्रेल में टाइप हो जाता है। कई बार रीडिंग पेन्स हैं, वो पेन को उस लिखावट पे रखेगा तो वो पढ़ के सुनाएगा कि क्या लिखा हुआ है। तो ये सब टेक्नोलॉजी है, असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी। फिंगर रीडर है, हाथ पे जब हम लाइन पे उंगली चलाते जाएंगे तो वो पढ़ के सुनाते जाएगा कि क्या लिखा हुआ है उसमें। So these are the latest technologies which are being used in the Western countries, but we have to adapt and make such. हमारे इंजीनियर्स, हमारे टेक्नोलॉजी से जो जुड़े हुए व्यक्ति हैं, उन लोगों को हमको प्रेरित करना चाहिए कि ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी इंडिया में भी ले आए और इंडिया में हमारे दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित बच्चों के लिए बहुत ज्यादा लाभदायक और उपयोगी बनाए। लो विजन डिवाइस है ये, जहां पर वो मैग्नीफाई हो गया है जो वो पढ़ना चाह रही है, तो आसानी से वो पढ़ सकेंगे। Then Talkit है ये, it is an innovative application to help people with speech and language disorders to communicate with someone else. It will translate unintelligible pronunciation into understandable speech so that we can understand what they meant to say despite the speech impediment. देखिए कितना अच्छा टेक्नोलॉजी असिस्टिव डेवलप हो रहा है और हो चुका है, और इसका उपयोग करने से हमारे बच्चे का कितना भला होगा, कितना अच्छे से वो ज्ञान से ले सकेंगे। ये हमारे ऑटिस्टिक बच्चों के लिए भी है कुछ ना कुछ, और लर्निंग डिसेबिलिटी वाले बच्चों के लिए भी उपयोगी रिसोर्स मटेरियल्स हैं। माउथ स्टिक है, ये हमारे अगेन सेरेब्रल पाल्सी वाले बच्चों के लिए हेड बैंड है, जिसका उपयोग करके वो इस काम को इस शिक्षा को ग्रहण कर रहे हैं। ये ऑटोमोबाइल्स में भी देखिए कि कितने आत्मनिर्भर हो जाते हैं हमारे फिजिकली इम्पेयर्ड पर्सन भी। इन लोगों के लिए खुद गाड़ी चलाना बहुत सरल हो गया, क्योंकि उनका पूरा गाड़ी मॉडिफाई हो गया, उनका व्हीलचेयर ही खुद अंदर चला जाता है गाड़ी में, और वो आराम से आत्मनिर्भर होकर अपने कार्यशैली को कर रहे हैं। टेक्नोलॉजी एंड स्पोर्ट्स में भी देखा गया है कि कितना ज्यादा चेंजेस आई है टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से। ये सब पूरा ई लर्निंग का ही एक देन है, जिसके वजह से आज हम दिव्यांगता से ग्रसित बच्चे भी सामान्य बच्चों को के साथ में आराम से हम उनको भी उनके समान ही अपने इस फील्ड को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, और हर क्षेत्र में उनकी भागीदारी देखी जा रही है। अंत में मैं ये कहूंगी कि ये कुछ रिकमेंडेशन है ई लर्निंग और स्पेशल एजुकेशन पे। हमको डेवलप करना होगा एक ई लर्निंग एनवायरनमेंट। बार बार मैं कहूंगी ई लर्निंग एनवायरनमेंट से मेरा तात्पर्य है इंस्टीट्यूट को, स्पेशल स्कूल को वैसा एक वातावरण बनाना होगा ताकि हमारे बच्चों को ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से वो उनको शिक्षा प्रदान कर सकेंगे। प्रिपेयर अवर स्पेशल चिल्ड्रेन फॉर ई लर्निंग, हमारे स्पेशल चिल्ड्रेन को भी ई लर्निंग के लिए तैयार करने के लिए प्रशिक्षण दिया जाना चाहिए। ट्रेन अवर स्पेशल टीचर्स टू रेंडर ई लर्निंग, यस, हमारे स्पेशल टीचर्स अगर ट्रेंड है ई लर्निंग को हैंडल करने के लिए, तभी वो हमारे बच्चों को भी मदद कर सकेंगे। एक्सेस टू ऑल ई लर्निंग, चाहे वो लोकेशंस ग्रामीण क्षेत्र हो, शहरी क्षेत्र हो, या रूरल क्षेत्र हो, या रिमोट प्लेस हो, वहाँ पे सब ई लर्निंग के लिए एक्सेस होने के लिए कंप्यूटर्स का वाईफाई सिस्टम, इंटरनेट सिस्टम बहुत ज्यादा अच्छे से एक्सेस होने पर ही हम दूर दूर तक हमारे बच्चों तक के हम पहुंच सकेंगे। अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ ई लर्निंग इक्विपमेंट एंड असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी, यस, हमको सरकार से भी निवेदन करना होगा कि असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे बच्चों तक के मिले और वो उसका सदुपयोग कर सके। कोर्स कंटेंट और करिकुलम इस तरीके से डिजाइन करें ताकि बच्चे के नीड बेस्ड हो और बच्चे के लेवल ऑफ डिजेबिलिटी और प्रकार टाइप ऑफ डिजेबिलिटी के आधार पर हम ई लर्निंग को स्थापित करें और ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से हम उनको मदद पहुंचा सकें। पेरेंट ट्रेनिंग एंड ई लर्निंग, पेरेंट्स का रहना बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि मैं तो मानूंगी एक ट्रायंगल बनता है। जब बच्चा हमारा ट्रायंगल के एपेक्स पे है तो एक कोने पे पेरेंट है तो एक कोने पे हमारा स्कूल है, तो ये तीनों का सामंजस्य होना बहुत जरूरी है। कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड कोऑपरेशन with the parents and the teachers will definitely benefit our children. तो ये पेरेंट्स को भी हमको ट्रेन करना होगा कि ई लर्निंग को किस तरीके से लर्न करें। अभी पेरेंट्स सीमित हैं, व्हाट्सएप तक के वो बहुत अच्छे से जानकारियां प्रदान कर रहे हैं और ले रहे हैं, और उन लोग पेरेंट्स अपना रुझान भी दिखा रहे हैं कि अपने बच्चों को किस तरीके से हम उनको घर बैठे शिक्षा प्रदान करें। उनके घर के वातावरण को भी हमें कुछ ना कुछ परिवर्तन लाना होगा, क्योंकि बच्चों को ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए कि घर भी स्कूल बन गया है और हमको कुछ समय के बाद स्कूल में जाना पड़ेगा, तो वो अलग से स्कूल और घर एक स्कूल। तो ये इसके लिए हमको होम एनवायरनमेंट में भी एक अलग से कमरा निर्धारण कर देना चाहिए ताकि बच्चों को लगना चाहिए कि हाँ, मुझे यहाँ पर पढ़ाई कराई जाएगी और मैं ये वाले हिस्से पे मुझे, चाहे मैं रिक्रिएशन रूम है, टीवी रूम है, प्ले रूम है या बैठक रूम है, जो भी हो, तो बच्चे भी इस तरीके से डिसिप्लिन हो जाएंगे और बहुत अच्छे से इसको सीख पाएंगे। So I end my lecture with this. Thank you so much. Any questions? You're most welcome.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your great suggestion. And of course, it will be helpful to the professionals who are working in the field of disability rehabilitation. Now, hello. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Thank you. So now I request Dr. Hemant Singh Keswal, sir, Assistant Professor Special Education, NIPID Regional Center, Noida, to talk about e-learning and its implication to the person with intellectual disability, how it will be helpful. Dr. Hemant Singh Keswal. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So, good morning, all of you. Dear speakers, Dr. Simmi Srivastava, Director NIPID, Deputy Director NIPID, and my co-speaker, Mr. Rajendra Praveen, and dear participants. Today, I have got an opportunity to speak on the role of e-learning for education of children with intellectual disability. Although it's a very interesting topic, as it has been said that necessity is an invention, mother of invention, and definitely when we talk of e-learning for PWDs, it was a distant dream before lockdown. In fact, COVID-19 has promoted e-learning to the maximum extent. In fact, we have not heard much about webinars or classes through distance, online mode, or teaching children, e-learning of children with special needs. There used to be huge projects going on in process, but nothing could materialize. But this lockdown of about 2 months have definitely helped us to bring together and come up with this new solution of e-learning, and it has helped to a great extent, and not only to children with intellectual disabilities, but also it has helped other people. People do say that COVID has stopped our life, but I perceive it as an opportunity. It's wonderful that although we are not able to meet face to face each other, but through this online mode, we have been interacting quite frequently. We have not been attending so many seminars in a year, but over the past 2 months, I believe we had attended more than 15 to 20 webinars. So it has been a good platform. In fact, and this is basically through e-learning mode, it's only that we are in a position to interact with each other, discuss professional things, personal things, and get to know, enhance our knowledge. So lot of things are taken care of amidst this pandemic. But yes, pandemic is definitely a serious thing, but we have come up with a solution of e-learning, and let's discuss how it can help. E-learning can help children with intellectual disabilities to enhance their learning, and I would also highlight on the issues how we can strengthen it, because definitely we were not prepared for this, as my previous speaker said. It was a sudden shock, and we need to come up with a solution. And with the solution, had to a certain extent worked up very well. So at the onstart, I would like to put up the definition of e-learning, which have been put forward by various experts. It includes all e-learning includes all kind of utilization of ICT in instructions. And second definition, some experts do believe that it is limited to use of intranet and internet in teaching learning process. And these are the benefits of e-learning. Self-service, mix and match you can do. Then whatever you can resources you can take out from the net and your computer, you can share it on demand, anytime, anywhere. You can start teaching. Private learning is possible. Then self-paced, whatever the pace of learner is, accordingly they can manage it. The flexibility is there. On you can divide the learning packages into modular packages, and they can be taught as per the needs of the learners. Learner here, we are focusing specifically on intellectual disability. And media rich, easier to understand, more engaging, repeatable. You can repeat it more than once, and easier to monitor the progress. You can evaluate, self-evaluate. So for teachers also, it's good, pretty good, and for the learner also, he or she can evaluate whatever he has learned. Then these are various e-learning tools, video conferencing, then various websites, online forum, audio chats, and scope of emails. So through these various e-learning tools, we can interact with each other through online modes. Then virtual classroom. Before, I would like to highlight something on virtual classroom, because how we go ahead. So definitely virtual classrooms are the necessity, because it's going to, since pandemic, this pandemic is not going to be over in the near future. So we need to look forward for certain solutions. So virtual classroom could be one of the solution, where virtual classrooms are not a new concept, but yes, smart boards, whiteboards, Swayam, MOOC, massive open online courses, platforms, Skype, WhatsApp, Zoom, IPO members, rooms, and many other audio visual platforms are available to explore. And these are certain e-resources for I have mentioned, which is here you can see children with autism and intellectual disabilities, and various platforms where you can use them as the virtual classrooms, as well as some educational apps are also available on this Best ABC Games for Kids. Then requirements of this is the requirement which we should have for virtual classroom. Ensure that the parents and teachers have access to internet and backup power. Parents and teachers must have access to laptop or PCs, or small or smartphone with not less than 5-inch screen should be there. Children must preferably use laptop or PCs. Please avoid mobiles as much as possible, so that the display can be wider and they can learn it better. Download Skype or WhatsApp MOOC on computer or phone. then make small groups of children based on the age or the grouping as per the grouping norms of various disability. We have different norms for grouping. Then pre-plan the individual or group activity so that accordingly we can develop a lesson plan and develop teaching learning methodology and put up a good lesson plan for teaching. Then video conferencing versus virtual classroom. There have been certain people are often overlapping this terminology. So I thought it would be an appropriate forum to discuss that what is video conferencing and what is virtual classroom platforms. So video conferencing platforms like WhatsApp or Skype and virtual classroom platforms like Swayam, MOOC and other platforms. Video conferencing platforms they are very generic application for communication purposes, and whereas virtual classroom are specifically designed to provide classroom experience on virtual platform. Does not Video conference does not have ability to define and organize contents as per pedagogy, curriculum, and learning outcomes. Whereas virtual classroom pedagogy or curriculum and learning outcomes can be defined and organized for systematic learning. In video conferencing, does not have provisions for this repository to restore and share document and knowledge points during the course of learning, whereas in virtual classroom generally has repository to store and share documents and knowledge points. Video conferencing does not have assessment and measures to track and monitor learning outcome, whereas where virtual classroom provides feedback mechanism in form of measures to track and monitor learning and assessment. These are learning challenges for persons with intellectual disability. We often see that they have problems in memory, concentration, attention, reading skills, writing skills, mathematics, communication skills, and they have limited logical thinking and reasoning abilities. So how do we addressing these barriers? There are four kind of barriers: time barrier, space barrier, analog digital barrier, and norm barrier. So e-learning can be used in time barrier. E-learning can be used by learners to allot their time to learn when they want to learn. Can also travel back and forth in time, making it possible to examine the pace of learning and accordingly make necessary accommodations. As per the learning ability of or severity of person with intellectual disability, the pace can be modified. Then space barrier. In e-learning, learning objects can be distributed all over the world, made accessible to learners via internet. It allows learners to access rare resources and expand their learning space. Sky is the limit, what we say when we talk of e-learning, because everything is nowadays available on Google or internet, and whatever learners want to learn, they can take cross references, or they can also develop their learning as per their requirements. They can learn. Analog digital barrier. Digital content offers a possibility to combine different media such as video, audio, text, and images. This enables learners to interact with digital content using different digital media for their learning process more easily than analog media. This enhances learning and develop interest amongst persons with intellectual disabilities also. So it is in conventional learning, if you see, we don't have so many modes of learning. Here we can mix and match the audio, video, text, and images, so that we can make the learning more interesting, and children can learn it better. They can retain the learning in a better way. So all kinds of we can make the children learn various concepts in multiple ways with the analog digital barriers. Then norm barrier. Norm barrier can be overcome by e-learning, resulting in growth of learning opportunities for all people. E-learning provides more individualized and personalized learning. This is very important for children with disabilities, where personalized and individualized learning is very important. We need to plan the learner-centric adopt learner-centric approach, and plan the lesson plans according to the needs of a particular individual. So it's very nice in that sense. For person with intellectual disability, it can be expanded. It can expand the scope of learning opportunities, accessible content for learning, accessible communication between all learners, and accessible construction of person, as well as shared knowledge, can lead to expanded learning opportunities for persons with intellectual disabilities. Technology and e-learning. Speakable items like speech synthesis, voice recognition, etc., portable word processors. These are some of the technological gadgets and e-learning which helps in e-learning. Alternate keyboards like one-hand keyboard or little finger keyboards, mouse alternatives like scroll wheels, trackball or head mouse, touch screen or touch windows, word prediction software. So this helps in e-learning. Then accessible e-learning technology, principles of accessible content, that is perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. These are four principles which we will be discussing now. Perceivable provide text alternatives for any not text non-text content. Example: large print, braille, speech, symbols, or simpler language. Provide synchronized alternative for multimedia. Create content that can be presented in different ways, spoken aloud, simpler layout, etc. Make it easier for person with intellectual disability to see and hear content, including separating foreground from background. This is something very important when children having some kind of learning disabilities get confused with foreground and background things. So how we can highlight the foreground, this can be very important. Then operable, make all functionality available from keyboard, provide users with disability enough time to read and use content, do not create content that is known to cause seizures, provide ways to help the users know about.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
Yeah. Good morning, Dr. Shimi. That was a nice presentation.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
have a question regarding uh, now that the e-learning has come up so much because of the COVID-19, there is also a fear from the parents that the children are getting addicted to the mobile phone, even though it is for learning for sometimes. So, what can we do about children not getting addicted?
Ah, that's a very nice question, Dr. Shilpa, because even we have faced such kind of problems from our parents' side. So we have been telling to the parents that, hey, you have to maintain a timetable at home also. That's what I was telling in my presentation also. All the time we cannot be giving them the training on the internet or on the laptops or on the telephones or on the mobile. So it can be outside these gadgets also the learning can take place. So it is better that we have to mix and match and use the techniques to teach the children at home, because many a times children will definitely demand of use of mobile phones constantly. So here we have to use our behavior management principles also, where we can coax them, or we can reinforce them or reward them when they are not using, or when they are listening to us, we can reward them. So in this way, I think we will be able to make the child learn that whenever it is a necessity, then only it will be given to them and at a appropriate time and schedule, so that the child is also learning the disciplinary action which is taking place in the house. So all the time the telephones and mobiles are not available to the children. This has to be conveyed to the children in a very nice manner, without reprimanding or without punishing. So I think we have to counsel the parents how to take care of handling the mobile phones and the internet facility at home, depending upon the need, and also time based and fixed timings should be given. Then only I think it will be more helpful for the child to learn. Is it as have I answered the questions of Shilpa?
Yes, Dr. Shimi, definitely. I think it's very important that the parents stick to a particular routine and fix the timings. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm constantly answering the questions which are coming into the question and answer box. So,
Ma'am, I have two questions. Uh,
yeah,
One is that when you're dealing with children with hyperactivity, younger children especially, how do we hold their attention? Especially because the parents are sitting there, and if the parent moves away, the child tends to move away. And the second question is the continuous interference of the parent when the class is going on, as in, that when we are trying to get an answer from the child, that the parent is continuously goading the child, answer it, answer it, answer it, or they are reading it out to the child. So, how do we do that?
so according to the question, I don't think so. The child is hyperactive. The parent is hyperactive. So parent has to be have to develop patience. They have to give that pace for the child to reply. So parents need not be very they should not pressurize the child to give an answer. They should rather coax and rather help the child to come out with the correct answer rather than forcing them to come out with the answer. So hyperactivity, the definition itself tells that they don't sit in one place for fraction of a second also, or even for half a minute also. So if that is the condition, then we have to definitely we give them some we are physically stopping the child to do an activity and hold the child tightly for some times, not very tightly that it is going to hurt, but we can do that, and then try to get the eye to eye contact with the child, and then only you can continue your whatever activity you want to do. Once the child is having an eye to eye contact with you, then only he will be able to respond it in a very positive manner. Okay.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Paswan ji, you can ask your question.
हेलो
जी,
Hello.
हाँ बात कीजिए.
Yeah.
यस सर.
हाँ.
हाँ मैम, जो मदर होते हैं एज 2 इयर्स ईयर, बच्चों के लिए हम क्या डिसाइड कर सकते हैं?
आपका आवाज क्लियर नहीं है, प्लीज रिपीट द क्वेश्चन.
ओके मैम, ये जो एज है, एज 2 इयर्स से 10 इयर्स के बीच में जो एक्टिविटी डिसाइड कैसे डिसाइड करना है मैम?
बेटा आपका आवाज ब्रेक हो रहा है, मैं कुछ समझ नहीं पा रही हूँ. बस 10 साल सुनाई में दिया मुझे. 10 years. What?
Yes, Manoj.
Can you put that question in the question answer box? I will answer it.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Dear participants, we are very sorry for the technical glitch, but someone has connected through more than 2 devices in the same room, and because of that there is a very much of audio disturbance. I would request the participants who have connected from more than one device to please disconnect from one of your devices. It is going to affect the entire presentation. So kindly please disconnect from the other devices. There is an echo because of that. Thank you so much. While we try to resume our rest of the presenters, we would continue our question and answers with Dr. Shimi. Dr. Simi, there is a question regarding the teaching of co-curricular activities. Can you
Yeah,
please expand a little more on how can we take up co-curricular activities through e-learning? Because academic activities, is somehow people are aware of to teach with, but when it comes to co-curricular activities like dance, drama, or music,
that's
or
what.
any other fun activity, it's a little difficult to plan. Can you just share your views on how can teachers plan things, especially for children with our intellectual and other developmental disabilities?
Definitely, Shilpa, because during this 2 months lockdown, even at Akanksha, our special teachers have taken really great pains in developing and creating videos. They have made videos of dance, yoga, and extracurricular activities like cooking, making tea. The special educators have themselves done this, and their family members have recorded that, and they have sent this video records and video clippings to the parents. And parents, where they are familiar with the WhatsApp, they can open up the videos and they see the videos, and then they learn how to do it. So this is what we have been doing it, and we have got a tremendous good response from the parents. Also in the rural areas, our special educators have developed certain video clippings, audio clippings, so that the parents feel more comfortable in opening up, and then and they themselves learn that activity first, and then they in turn teach the children at home. So this has given us a very strong base. The videos have given us a strong base in developing or creating curricular activities for the parents to learn, and in turn they will learn it. And surprisingly, the fathers have also shown so much interest in taking making and teaching our special children, especially the intellectually disabled children at home, that they have also taught the children at home, and they took a video of their teaching, how the parent is teaching the child at home. They took that video and they sent in turn to us, okay, this is what we have done. So this kind of exchange of videos have definitely shown that the parents have become they are interested in teaching the children at home, and they have become special teachers at home. So this gave us a very big satisfaction to us. Yes, we are able to help our children through making parents competent enough through videos and audios, and even telephonic conversations were also made by the teachers, special teachers and the therapists, which has definitely shown good improvement in the children, because we also wanted to see the evaluation patterns. So we also made a evaluation sheet. Okay, these are the things to be entered, and we made these sheets and sent as images to the parents, and parents were able to do it. So I think we have to be more creative enough in making the parents teach how to teach the children at home. And एक और मजे की बात ये थी कि पेरेंट्स अपने घर के रिसोर्सेज, दे वर यूजिंग द रिसोर्सेज व्हिच वर अवेलेबल एट होम, लाइक टीचिंग लर्निंग मटेरियल इज नॉट देयर एट होम, बट सब्जियों को पूरा ले आए और सब्जियों को छांटना, मैचिंग, आइडेंटिफिकेशन, नेमिंग, everything the parents were doing at home. They gave the things in front of the children, and the parents literally gave them prompting, physical prompting, gestures, visual, all those clues were given to the parents. And the mother is teaching the child, and father took out the video and he sent the video to us. So this shows the interest of the parent. The matlab they want definitely to help the parents at, the children at home. So this we have done, and we have seen success in this kind of interchange activities through WhatsApp videos and WhatsApp audio methods. Did I answer the question, Shilpa?
Yeah, thank you so much. That was really, I think I have to really congratulate all the parents who have really, stepped into and were
I
trying very
we can we
many.
can we can share the videos with you, Shilpa. The parents, they have really made wonderful videos,
Yes,
and our
yes.
teachers have also made so wonderful videos on dance, yoga, making tea, and then serving tea, and then making sandwiches. Everything, all the curricular, extracurricular, co-curricular activities are made into videos and audios, and then telephonic conversations. So these three
Yes,
modes
yes.
we have utilized.
I think we need to really give a big hand for all the parents and teachers during this crisis time. And let me move to one more question, which I find very interesting in the Q&A box. That is regarding the mobile games. I'm
हाँ,
sure you will agree to me that not only children who are typically developing, normally developing, but even children with autism and other developmental disabilities are somehow very keen on playing a lot of mobile games, and that too educational games. There are quite a lot of educational games on so many apps nowadays. So
हाँ.
how do you find these games especially useful for our children with intellectual and developmental disabilities?
Again, I will tell you, there should be limit to everything. Games are not bad, because they are also educating the child to do learn an activity. But only thing is that we have to stick to the time limits. So we have to stick to the time limits. We have to tell them, yes, that not more than 10 minutes you have to play this game. Okay, the child will also understand that 10 minutes means 10 minutes. You should not prolong the 11th minute also. Then only the child will give respect to that 10 minutes and do that activity. And then we have also to reinforce the child after doing this 10 minutes activity. So I think so. I think that video games are not going to be harmful if we stick to the time limits and disciplining the child simultaneously. So whatever is there, e-learning के माध्यम से definitely children are going to learn, but we have to मतलब plan and be very sometimes we have to be flexible also. So in this way we can definitely help our children. So only thing is that we should not allow them to proceed, increase the time limit that will create an addiction in the child. So we have to stick to the time limits. Okay.
Um, Yeah, Dr. Simi, there is one more question that is very, important in terms of the training aspect of the parents. Because we do have many parents who are not well familiarized with the mobile phone, internet options, and all. It's fine. The e-learning and all is okay with parent group which have who have a little bit of knowledge about this thing. Now, what about the group of parents where the internet knowledge or connectivity is a bit low? How do you think we can reach them?
I was just answering this question only. So I would like to say that if the internet connectivity is very poor and if it is not able, they are not able to get access to it. So I think telephones will be again a very good mode of connectivity. But we have also used this method also, talking to the parents over the telephone, making them understand, like we do in the task analysis, we write down small bits and every minutest details. So like the same way we talk to the parents. First, we try to make them understand what we are supposed to do and how we are supposed to do, and then we give them the task analysis one by one after the other, so that the parent, he is responding with a positive yes or no, or if he is unable to understand, so we will repeat the question. So telephone will be, because telephone connectivity has become very good into the remotest areas also. So through telephones also we will be able to render education to the children staying at home. So we have done this also in Akanksha. In the remote areas also, we have utilized the services of telephone, and the parents also responded really very well. So I don't think so. Learning ke liye there is no obstacles. Anything which is, if one path is closed, so we can take another path and help the parents to learn. So if a connectivity is not there, but telephone is there, so we can use the telephone mode and teach the parents at home. And secondly, if the parents are unable to understand the concepts of e-learning, so nowadays the siblings have become much more equipped with the e-learning strategies, because they are also sitting at home and doing their work. So siblings will be able to help the parents, and this is what exactly we have seen in our lockdown period. The siblings have helped the children with special needs, and siblings have helped the parents also to learn the concepts, and they have also helped to learn the parents to utilize the internet facility, how to browse and how to enter and what to do. See, even this webinars we were not familiar with, but we have gradually learned it. So even when given an opportunity, if the parents are inclined towards learning, or if the parents are interested to learn, they will definitely learn. So the credit will be the parents' interest and their inclination towards learning.
I think we have one more participant who would like to ask you a question directly. Yes, dear participant, your mic has been unmuted. You can ask the question directly with the presenter. Can you hear us?
Mohammad Hussain.
Yeah, Mohammad Hussain, your mic has been unmuted. You can ask your question directly with the presenter.
हेलो
हाँ, यस बोलिए मोहम्मद हुसैन जी, बताइए.
हेलो
हाँ, बताइए मोहम्मद हुसैन जी.
हाँ बोलिए.
मैं ऑनलाइन आ चुका दिख रहा हूँ क्या मैं आपको सिमी मैम?
नहीं, आपकी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है मुझे, बताइए.
अच्छा, हेमंत सर आए क्या ऑनलाइन? उनका प्रेजेंटेशन आ रहा था बाकी.
हेलो,
हेमंत जी.
Dear participants, I'm glad to announce that our other two presenters are connected with us. Please bear with us for another few minutes. I think we'll be able to start our next technical session with the other speakers. And meanwhile, I would like to reconfirm what Dr. Simi has said, that learning knows no bounds. This is absolutely true. And as teachers, special educators, I think we are the one to believe this particular phrase, that whatever matters, whether there is a mobile phone or not, whether there is an internet connectivity or not, whatever it is, I think learning can happen in all situations, and we have to explore various avenues and various methods. And what Dr. Simi has said is quite true, that involvement of siblings in the learning process of our children with intellectual and other developmental disabilities plays a very critical role. So I would encourage all our participants today who are attending the webinar that I'm pretty sure you must have been involving them, but in case you have not explored the option of involving the siblings, please do it. You are going to see wonderful changes happening in the learning aspects of children with special needs. I think, Rahul, can we have the presentation of the presenter now that they are connected?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if you can share the PowerPoint, I think one of the presenters can start.
Yeah. Audible?
Yes, I am muting my mic. Over to you, Rajender.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon all. Once again.
Rajendra,
जी, आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
you can start.
Okay, my first slide will be that promoting e-learning during COVID-19. Thank you very much. As you all know, COVID-19 pandemic has hit hard not only the economic sector but has led the educational sector too in Delhi. The decision of having national-wide lockdown was a good move by the government and much appreciated even the WHO, and was much needed in order to save the life of many. Next slide, please. The educational sector too was totally unprepared for this sudden crisis situation due to this pandemic. March onward is a crucial time for both students and teachers, and suddenly all are confined to their houses due to the lockdown. In this situation, anxiety mounts in the minds of students and teachers as to how do we carry out teaching, learning and evaluation. Next, please. E-learn from home. We all, two speakers have been discussing about Moodle. This is one kind of technique or e-learning platform. Moodle is an acronym of Modular Object-Oriented Dynamic Learning Environment. It is a free and open source learning and management system which enables you to create a private learning space online full of engaging activities and materials. Moodle is used for blended learning, distance education, flipped classroom, and other e-learning projects in schools, colleges, universities, workplaces, and other sectors. Next, please. The other option available is Google Classroom. As we speakers were speaking, Google Classroom is a free web service developed by Google for schools and colleges that aims to simplify creating, distributing, and grading assignments in paperless way. This primary purpose of Google Classroom is to streamline the process of sharing files between teachers and students. Next, please. So we can use the Google Classroom. Next, please. Next. One more slide, please. So we have already taken the time. Next, please. The visual, audio, and kinesthetic learning are the three keys. I am repeating here. Visual, audio, and kinesthetic learning are three keys areas that need to be focused to offer an optimal learning experience. This approach simply means giving opportunities for the students to see the knowledge, hear it and feel it to the core. Next please. Teachers can even experiment with option of internet chat and internet video conferencing. Online video conferencing systems such as Zoom, Hangout Meet, Skype, GoToMeeting, etc. You are tech savvy, try these two. I have already given the example bottom. The symbol of that e-learning platform like Zoom, Google Hangouts, Skype, GoToMeeting. Next please. Zoho meeting, Cisco WebEx meeting. Yeah, next please. These are some of the e-platform where we can. So when we talk about during lockdown period, national initiative, मैं कुछ हिंदी में भी बोलना चाहूँगा because I love to speak in Hindi also. Some of the already speakers have already discussed. स्वयं एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ पे फ्री ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज जो आपको फ्री मुफ्त में दी जाती है लर्नर के लिए अधिगम करने वालों को स्कूल लेवल पे, महाविद्यालय लेवल पे, विश्वविद्यालय लेवल पे, जिसको हम स्वयं बोलते हैं. दिस इज नेशनल इनिशिएटिव. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. ओके. There are several ICT initiative of MHRD, मानव संसाधन विकास मंत्रालय द्वारा और यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट कमीशन विश्वविद्यालय अनुदान आयोग द्वारा इंटर यूनिवर्सिटी सेंटर्स IUC, जिसके लिए इंफॉर्मेशन एंड लाइब्रेरी नेटवर्क एंड कंसोर्टियम ऑफ एजुकेशनल कम्युनिकेशन, जिनका मैंने यहाँ पे लिंक भी दिया है, सिंबल दिया है, इन्फ्लीनेट सेंटर, सूचना एवं पुस्तकालय नेटवर्क केंद्र. ऑनलाइन लर्निंग वेबसाइट लाइक MHRD also give free during the coronavirus lockdown for UG, PG, Swayam Prabha, YouTube channel, National Digital Library, Sudhangana, eSodh, Sindhu and Vidwan. Next please. So I am giving the symbolic of this, all the tools which are electronic tools. You can see that vertical of Swayam and this is e-Pathshala, Swayam Prabha, Consortium of Educational Communication. Next please. National Digital Library. This is the symbol जहाँ पे 65 लाख से अधिक किताबों को भी बिल्कुल मुफ्त में ऐड किया गया है नेशनल डिजिटल लाइब्रेरी में. Sodh, Ganga. I will explain otherwise next in the next slide, please. These are the some of the symbol: Diksha, Pathshala, Swayam, Sodh Suddhi. These all are the electronic platform which we have already discussed in our presenter one. I have already discussed. Next please. How to gauge students learning? हम किस तरह छात्र के अधिगम को माप सकते हैं? Well, here are some things that you as a teacher can do gauge their learning. On each PowerPoint presentation, lecturer or video or any resource provided by you, give them a set of problem-based learning. जहाँ पे उनको समस्या आती है, समस्या आधारित अधिगम, जो हम प्रश्न देते हैं जिसे ब्लूम टैक्सोनॉमी भी कहते हैं, हायर ऑर्डर थिंकिंग स्किल्स एंड टास्क आस्क फॉर सबमिशन ऑफ देयर आंसर टू यू. यानी हम इस तरह के कुछ टेस्ट कर सकते हैं उनके अधिगम जो उनको समस्या देती है उनको मापने के लिए थ्रू पावरपॉइंट, थ्रू लेक्चर, थ्रू वीडियो. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. Diksha. This is some of the, I think, participant has asked. This is one kind of app has more than 80,000 ebooks for classes 1 to 12. I know most of the participants from the special education disability rehabilitation background. I agree, but this is the overall platform we are sharing here from this platform. यहाँ क्लास फर्स्ट से लेके क्लास 12 तक के बच्चों के लिए 80,000 से ज्यादा ई बुक्स की व्यवस्था है जिसका वेबसाइट हमने यहाँ पे लिंक किया है diksha.gov.in. Next please. e-Pathshala. In this web portal of NCERT has developed 1886 audios, यानी इसको आप सुन सकते हैं, 2000 videos, 696 e-books and 504 flip books for classes 1 to 12 in different language website. It will be helpful for the, not only for the, basically the special children with the special needs, of course, it will be helping to the normal education, learner also. That is, I have given the website http e-Pathshala.nic.in. Swayam is also up to class 9, 11th and 12th, that is 1900 course covering both schools and the graduates and postgraduates. That link I have given website. Next page. Swine Prabha. Swine Prabha is one kind of educational e-platform where 32 DTH TV due to home television channel transmitting contents on 24/7 यानी सातों दिन 24 घंटे ये वेबसाइट काम करती है, जिसमें कि इसमें कंटेंट दिया है, इनके 32 चैनल हैं. Other ICT initiatives like please next okay, like FOSSEE, which I have already mentioned, that is a robotic education e-yantra. FOSSEE, virtual experiment, virtual labs and learning program, spoken tutorials are also experiencing very large access rate. Next please. Now this is a very major point, advantages of e-learning. We have already discussed, our two speakers has also spoke about this. हमें क्या फायदा होता है e-learning का? Now we will talk overall with the special need children, दिव्यांगन छात्र, as well as normal kids, right? You are able to link the various resources in various formats. आप इस प्लेटफॉर्म को विभिन्न तरह के संसाधनों का इस्तेमाल करते हुए उन बच्चों को आप फायदा दे सकते हैं. दूसरा, it is very efficient way of delivering courses online. Of course, it will be more helping to the learner. Due to this its convenience and flexibility. The resources are available from anywhere and at any time. जरूरी नहीं है कि क्लास में आए, हम कहीं से बैठ के, जैसे आज हम e-learning प्लेटफॉर्म पे वेबिनार कर रहे हैं, तो some of the technical thing I will also talk, but of course it is very flexibility, इसमें लचीलापन होता है, आदमी से आराम से हम सीख सकते हैं इसमें. Next one, everyone who are part-time students or working full-time can take advantage of web-based learning. Of course, इससे जो part-time जो जॉब में होते हैं उनको भी फायदा हो सकता है. Web-based learning promotes active and independent learning. Of course, ये आपको इतना सजग बनाता है, इतना empower करता है कि आप अपने खुद से स्वतंत्र से पूर्वक कर सकते हैं. As you have access to net 24/7 यानी 24 घंटे यदि आप एक्सेस करते हैं नेट को, you can train yourself anytime and from anywhere also. यदि आप एक्सेस इंटरनेट को कर सकते हैं, आराम से इस चीज को जो एडवांटेज है ई-लर्निंग का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. It is very convenient and flexible option. Above all, you don't have to depend on anyone for anything. Yeah, of course, this is very major line I have mentioned. किसी ऊपर डिपेंडेंट आश्रित होने की जरूरत नहीं है, हम खुद से इस जो जितने प्लेटफॉर्म है प्लेटफॉर्म का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. Next please. The last slide. Disadvantage of e-learning. Most of the online assessments are limited to questions that are only objective in nature. सर, जितनी भी प्लेटफॉर्म होती हैं लर्निंग के इलेक्ट्रॉनिक में, मोस्टली क्या होता है, कहीं डिलिमिटेशन की बात हम करते हैं, तो ये प्रॉब्लम होती है, इस डिसएडवांटेज में है. There is also the problem of the extent of security of online learning program. Yeah, of course, security सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से it is not. We can say that some of the app are very good. Some of the app are like we were discussing earlier when we have started here, online classes for diploma level students here in CRC Rajnandgaon. So we have seen that some Zoom app is not safer. So after a few days we have started with Cisco WebEx meeting and we are taking from that. So you have to be very careful while starting the electronic platform, which app is very safer. The authenticity of a particular student's work is also a problem, as online just about anyone can do a project rather than an actual student itself. It is very disadvantage, one kind of disadvantage for the students level. The assessment that are computer marked generally have a tendency of being only knowledge based, not necessarily particularly based. Yeah, कभी-कभी हमें क्या होता है जब हम किसी का आकलन करते हैं कंप्यूटर बेस्ड मार्क्स पे, तो हो सकता है कि मे बी सम ऑफ द एरर कैन बी टेकन प्लेस ड्यूरिंग दिस प्लेटफॉर्म. थैंक यू. नेक्स्ट इफ इट इज. थैंक यू वेरी मच. Summary. Yeah, of course. COVID-19 pandemic is an unprecedented situation and no one can really know how long it will be. हमें पता नहीं और कितने महीने हमें इनसे गुजरना है, इनके साथ चलना है. Before normal routine life begins for us. Yes, of course, हमारा सामान्य जीवन कब से शुरू होगा? We don't know. We don't know as a teacher, professors, participants, learners, educators. Social distancing will be go a long way in controlling the situation. Of course, what we are talking about. हमें डिस्टेंसिंग बना के मास्क पहन के ऑफ कोर्स इसको रखना है और अपना जो कार्य है ऑनलाइन के प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से वो पूरा करना है. दिस इज अ टाइम फॉर ऑल द टीचर्स टू अनलीश देयर innovative side and come up with ways to continue teaching. Learning and assessment by online means we need to come up with a positive plan to start the learning from home, learning journey of our students, of course. In a safer mode, we can say that हमें learning तो करना है और learning के साथ साथ हमें अपनी सेफ्टी का ध्यान रखना है, स्वास्थ्य सुरक्षा का ध्यान रखना है. थैंक यू वेरी मच. थैंक यू.
Thank you, Rajendra, for a very nice and crisp presentation. Participants definitely must have understood what are the various e-learning options which are available, like MOOCs, the Swayam, and all. I'm sure they're going to explore after this webinar these particular sites on what are the various learning modules which are available for both students and faculty also. And now we have our next presenter, Dr. Hemant, with us. I would request Rahul to connect us with Dr. Hemant if he is there. Otherwise, we can take few questions. Oh yes, we are having Dr. Hemant with us. We are very shortly going to start the presentation. Over to Dr. Hemant now.
Yeah, thanks, Shilpa, and I seriously apologize for the interruption, and that's the part and parcel of e-learning, I should say, negative aspect. But yes, we need to still enhance ourselves, develop our platform, the technology, so that we can be in a better position to promote e-learning. But yes, as of now, we still have gone long way, and we need to develop our infrastructure here. The current slide tells us about various e-sources platforms which have been discussed earlier also, and some of the slides are on various packages, e-learning packages for children with autism, and e-learning games for children with intellectual disabilities. Yeah, next slide. In this next slide, I'm discussing on virtual classroom. What are the requirements for having a virtual classroom? Ensuring the parents and teachers having access to internet and backup power, because this is very important. If you don't have a good access or internet facility and power backup, then electricity is also a problem, and internet has also becomes a problem. Then it is virtual kind of classroom cannot function. Then parents and teachers must have access to laptops, PC, or smartphones with minimum 5-inch screen display should be there. Preferably, children must use laptop or PCs. Download Skype, WhatsApp, MOOC on computer or phone. Make small groups of children based on the age and severity as per the norms or prescribed by various disabilities or severities. Then pre-plan individual and group activity plan so that the teachers can take the lessons in a better way. This planning is definitely different from the usual face-to-face IEP planning or group activity planning, because here you need to develop proper lesson plan which includes audio-visual material as well as various kinds of other e-resources also. So the teacher needs to be well trained in e-learning. He or she should be well trained e-learning teacher. So the computer as well as other PowerPoint presentation she should be good at. Then what is the difference? Generally we overlap with virtual classroom and video conferencing. So I would like to have a presentation on this. Virtual classroom, video conferencing platform like our WhatsApp and Skype, and virtual classroom platform are Swayam, MOOCs, Zoho, Google Meet, etc. Other platforms. then Google video conferencing is very generic application of communication purpose for communication purpose, whereas virtual classroom are specifically designed to build to provide classroom experiences on virtual platform. Video conferencing does not have ability to define and organize contents as per pedagogy or curriculum and learning outcomes, whereas virtual classroom pedagogy or curriculum and learning outcomes can be defined and organized for systematic learning. Provision for a repository to store and share documents and knowledge points during the course of learning, whereas generally which virtual classroom has a repository to store and share documents and knowledge points. Video conferencing does not have assessment and measures to track and monitor the learning outcomes, whereas virtual classroom provides feedback mechanism in the form of measures to track and monitor learning outcomes and assessment of the learner. Next. Yeah, learning challenges for persons with intellectual disabilities. As we all are aware that persons with intellectual disability do have challenges in memorizing things. They have problems in concentration, poor attention, reading, writing, mathematical abilities, then communication skills, and they have limitations in logical thinking and reasoning. Keeping in view these challenges, how we would be discussing how e-learning can help us in facilitating these children. Let's discuss the barriers. There are 4 barriers we have. We'll be discussing in the forthcoming slides. That is time barrier, space barrier, analog digital barrier, and norm barrier, and how they can these barriers can resolve the issues. Now the time barrier, e-learning can be used by learners to allot their time to learn when they want to learn, can also travel back and forth in time, making it possible to examine the pace of learning and accordingly make necessary arrangements, necessary accommodations as per the ability or pace of learning of the learner. The next, space barrier. Space barrier. May I request to switch over the slides? Space barrier, next slide. Yeah. In e-learning, learning objects can be distributed all over the world, made accessible to learner via internet. It allows learner to access rare resources and expand their learning space. The next, analog digital barrier. Digital content offers possibility to combine different media such as video, audio, text, and images. This is the wonder of this e-learning methodology, where we can mix up various videos, audios, text. This not only helps in having an interesting lesson, but also helps in motivating the learner or to learn the concept and develop a good learning concept on a particular subject. This enables learner to interact with digital content using different media, different digital media for the learning process more easily than analog media. This enhances learning and develops interest in amongst persons with intellectual disabilities. So when the teacher develops, they should be well trained in analog digital things. The norm barrier. Norm barrier can be overcome by e-learning, resulting in growth of learning opportunities for all people. E-learning provides more individualized and personalized learning. For a person with intellectual disability, it can expand the scope of learning opportunities, accessible content of learning, accessible communication between all learners, and accessible construction of personal as well as shared knowledge can lead to expanded learning opportunities for persons with intellectual disability. Then how technology and e-learning can support each other. Speakable items like speech synthesis, voice recognition, then portable word processor, alternate keyboards, one-hand keyboard or little finger keyboards, and mouse alternatives are available like scroll or trackballs and head mouse, touch screen or window screen, touch window screen screens are there. Then word processor software, prediction software, which helps person with disability to for e-learning. Then next slide. Yeah, accessible e-learning technology. Principles of accessible content. There are four accessible principles of content: perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Next. This we are discussing because any teacher who want to develop e-learning lessons should have these concept in mind, so that they can develop good e-learning lessons, so that their learners can learn, and at the same time they can evaluate as well as do the assessment periodically. Monitoring becomes easier, learning become more interesting. So all these things should be kept in mind by the teachers who before developing a good e-learning lesson plan. Provide text under perceivable, provide text alternatives for any non-text content. Example, large prints, braille, speech, symbols, or simpler language. Provide synchronized alternative for multimedia. Create content that can be presented in different ways, that is spoken, aloud, or simpler layout, etc. Make it easier for person with intellectual disability to see and hear content, including separating foreground from the background. This is also very important, that how we can differentiate foreground sound or foreground images from the background. Next. Operable. This principle make all functionality available from a keyboard, provides users with the disabilities enough time to read and use content. Do not create contents that is known to cause seizures. This is I would like that this is very important, as children with intellectual disability have a comorbid condition of seizures, and teachers should take expert advice from the neurologist whether to how much time they can be exposed to screens, because continuous flickering of screens do create seizures. That's what study research says. So particularly children having seizures should be taken special care for e-learning protocols. And then provide ways to help users with disabilities navigate. Understandable. Make text content readable and understand. Make web pages appear and operate in predictable ways. Help users to avoid and correct mistakes that do occur. Robust. This principle maximize compatibility and current and future user agents. So there are certain disadvantages which I would not like to repeat it. I believe Mr. Rajinder has covered most of the things, and this is the references. Yeah, now I wind up my presentation. I would invite questions from the participants if